steak, 0.64 pounds, just for me. I just took it out of the fridge, letting it sit out for about 30 minutes. In the meantime, I'm going to go do a 30-minute quick workout, just so when I come back, I got my insulin is more sensitive, so this isn't going to go to my fat. And yeah, so we'll be right back for more. All right, our steak has been out for over 30 minutes, so it's safe to say that the temperature has equilibrated across the meat, and it is there's no temperature difference between the surface and the middle, because that would cause uneven cooking. So what we got ourselves is a T-bone, and you can see what good thing about T-bone is it's got a high fat content, and you can see that by the marbleization, which is the the fatty white, which is located in between the muscle cells. So, for example, when an animal like me or you or a cow, its muscle cells have stores of fat in between the fibers to supply the muscle with energy. So, and the benefit of marbleization is, or the benefits of fat is, the more fat, the better the flavor. So that's one of the pros about T-bones. So let's get to it. And one other thing about this meat is it's not grass-fed. Some people prefer grass-fed for the health benefits. Other people do not like the way grass-fed beef tastes. But you can't deny that the benefit of grass-fed beef is that it has causes less inflammation in your body. And some people swear by its ability to help you recover. And there's really nothing better than a grass-fed steak in terms of health-wise. It's just filled with what your body craves. And also, I'll post I'll list the health or the nutrition facts of this. This is 0.64 pounds of beef, and like I said, it's got a high fat content. So. And it's 0 carbs. Yeah. And as far as ingredients go, you're looking at them. We got ourselves pepper. I like coarse ground pepper, but we got this is like fine ground pepper. So we're just making do with what we got. This is salt, iodized. Sea salt is good. Yeah, I like sea salt, but like I said, we're making with what we have here. And then olive oil. That's gonna go onto the pan once we heat that up. Once the oven's ready. And we're going to add, once we're searing this sucker on each side, I'm going to add a little extra grass-fed Irish Kerrygold butter, about just a tablespoon of that. And I can go deep into the benefits of grass-fed butter, which is similar to grass-fed meat, less inflammation, more omega-3s, get your omega-3 to omega-6 ratio higher, so that'll reduce inflammation, high in linoleic acid, which is really good for you. So, yep. See, right now I've preheated the oven to 400 degrees. Now, if you look, going back to the T-bone, this is, if you look at my knuckle here, it's my knuckle, let's call my knuckle an inch, just that little guy. This thing's like a 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch, so that means it's thin. So what we're going to do is we're going to sear this sucker. Throw a little EVOO on there. Some people like canola oil because they think olive oil tastes a little bitter, but to each his own. So we're going to sear this sucker about, say, 90 seconds each side, and then we're going to pop it into the oven at 400 degrees for about 2 minutes only. 2.5 minutes. And that should give us a medium rare T-bone, so that'd be great. Yep. All right, our oven just went off, 400 degrees, ready to go. First things first, we're gonna pat this dry, and the reason why we're gonna pat this down to make it dry is we want the surface to be as dry as possible, because when it hits the pan to sear, if we have a wet surface, it's just not going to give us a nice crisp crust that you see at steakhouses. So we're just going to pat that sucker dry, and boom. And then we are going to liberally, we're going to liberally salt this sucker. And the reason why you never want to salt too early, because the salt is going to draw out moisture, and that dry surface that you just patted down is going to be not so dry because salt is going to draw the moisture out. So we put a lot of pepper on that. Now let's go to the back here, salt it. Actually, I sort of just went against my rules because our pan still needs to get hot. Okay, so we got that. Now we're gonna come to our pan, which has been, I got a flame under that. We're gonna crank that up, and then now we're just do a dash of the old EVOO, just a dash, because we don't want too much oil, because that's going to, that's not gonna make the sear that well. Okay, so it's gonna heat this up. We're gonna heat it up until it smokes. I'm gonna turn this flame up more and more. In the meantime, let me wash my hands. Just quick. We got our steak ready to go. We got this on high. Let me get a butter knife for our butter. You'll see what we do next here. Okay, get this hot. Spread it out. And normally I do this in a cast iron pan, but I don't have one, so I got this copper pan. What's good about this, it doesn't non-stick surface, and I can put it right in the oven, and because 100% of it is conductive, and there's no ceramic pieces or anything like that. So that is good. But the bad thing is this whole thing's hot, so you gotta have an oven mitt on hand. So let's get our oven mitt, because this is gonna go pretty quick. I can't find any oven mitts. This is gonna go pretty quick. We'll get a timer. We're just doing a minute. I said at 90 seconds. We'll go like a minute each side because we're gonna get this real hot. And yeah, the hotter the better. Once this thing hits the surface of it, you're gonna hear a nice sizzle, and that's the sizzle we're looking for. That's how you know the crust, that you've made a good crust on your steak. And right about now I'm going to hit the fan, because this should be coming to a smoke. Once it smokes, we're going to throw it on there. Alright, I'm seeing the first bits of smoke, so I'm going to lower it down slightly, and we're going to put this baby right on there, face down. Oh, listen to that. And another thing you want to do, you want to make sure when you do this that you're not moving the steak around. So let's set the timer for 1 minute, okay? Yeah, you don't want to move the steak. If you move it, it's going to screw up the crust, all right? Now while this is going, I'm going to add a little butter. Not even a tablespoon. This is just gonna enhance the flavor by adding even more fat to this. I'm just getting the butter, moving the butter around, not the steak. And I do not have tongs, but what I'm going to do when I flip this, I'm going to flip it by the little piece right here, you'll see. That little white piece, that's what I'm going to stick into, because I don't want to penetrate the meat. It looks like our timer's about to go off already. We'll go, I said 90 seconds to, that we're going to do, so we'll go a little bit longer. Alright, now let's flip it over. Look at that crust. See that crust? That's what you're looking for. There we go. Look at that. Now, if you want to get fancy, you could, with the butter, throw some rosemary, throw some other herbs in there, and even some red wine to really bring out the flavors of the steak. And we're going to go we'll go a minute on this guy until he's done. Move this back here. And then we're going to pop it in the oven for, heck, I think 2 minutes is all we need, because this is pretty thin. And like I said, we're aiming for medium rare. Medium rare. All right, let's throw it in the oven. We'll set the timer for 2 minutes. All right, oven time. Whoa, hey now. We'll go 2 minutes. All right, 2 minutes is up. Actually, I went closer to a minute and a half there. Actually, there's some time left. So close that up. We're gonna get it out of the pan onto a plate because we don't want to cook anymore because this is a thin piece of meat. So let's quickly do that. Grab a fork. Oops, shit. Pardon my French. Look at that. Look at that side. That is what you want, baby. All right. Now, this is still hot, okay? And what we want is we want to let it stand for 5 minutes. You want to let it stand for about 5 minutes because this, all the juice, the heat from the oven and the pan concentrated the juice into the steak, so you gotta let the juice redistribute throughout the meat to finish it off with an even juicier piece of meat. All right, so we're gonna wrap it up with tin foil. Wrap this sucker up. Oh, camera's moving on us. Spotty camera. Tin foil. Wrap it up. Set the timer for 5 minutes or so. This is a thin piece of meat, so we could even go less than 5 minutes. So we'll wait, and then bon appetit. All right, moment of truth. Let's see how we did here. Let's see how we did. So I'm cutting it like a real animal. All right, we're pink in the middle, so that's about medium. You know, we probably didn't even have to put it in the oven. So for next time, now we know. So yeah, that's it. I'm gonna enjoy this. Happy cooking.